Hello, guys. Hope you can see me. You can hear me. As always, please confirm that in the chat and we can dive in. Ken's going to be here in like 5 minutes. I think Angel as well. Thank you, Chatanya, for confirmation. Hello, everyone. By the way, Chatanya, congratulations for passing the challenge. Mate, I'm going to check right after the live stream because you should have it. Okay, let me also notify the Discord and Telegram community. Oh, Ken is already here, so let's let him in. Hello, Ken. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How about you?
Good man. Yeah, I'm good. Now, Angel join us.
Yeah. Angel's coming soon. He should be here any minute.
How
I was just saying. I
how's your
just
weekend
went
been?
live a second ago.
Okay, cool. How's your weekend?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Was just chilling the entire weekend. What about you?
Um, what was I doing? Pretty much same to be fair. Quiet weekend. Yeah, chilled one as well.
Okay.
Nothing exciting this weekend. Yeah, man.
I'm just going to notify the Telegram community that we started, and then we can dive in. Uh, Come on now. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and the
Hey
Discord.
guys. He's coming.
Who, Angel?
Yeah, so I said, where
Yeah,
is
yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah, definitely. He's definitely coming.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Let me also open the chat here.
So,
Hello, Jay.
uh,
Okay. Waiting for. Oh, he's already here. Oh, yeah, here he is. Okay, Angel's here. Perfect. So we already here, Angel. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you guys?
hey, Angel.
Doing great.
Good to
All
see you.
Yeah,
good.
wonderful.
Man,
Absolutely great.
the lads are back.
Okay, perfect.
I hope you guys are doing well as well. Hey, everyone in the chat.
Okay. So today we're going to have the usual the quiz, and also I'll be doing it as Ken starts with the weekly analysis. Then Angel, I think, is going to again cover the indexes. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Pretty interested week. We've got a couple of news, especially I'm very interested in Reserve Bank of New Zealand. I think it's going to play the same way as Australian dollar, don't you think, Ken?
Um, yeah, pretty much. I don't know if there will be as dovish.
Do you think there's going to be more hawkish on the?
I just
Uh,
think it's going to be a neutral cut. I think it's going to be a non-event.
okay.
Yeah, I think it could be a bit of a dry one. This one, just because things are okay, in New Zealand. Like inflation yet has cooled, growth still okay, retail sales are still okay, the labor market's still doing well, surpassing expectations. So I just think it's just going to be like they'll cut, and this will be it for a little while. One and sort of a done for now. Sit on hands. Yeah,
Okay, I'm expecting a little bit of a bearish momentum, probably. Maybe just a
okay.
little bit. I think market priced most of the rate cut because I think they're cutting by 25 basic points to 3%. Yeah, to 3%. So I think that last week, especially second half of last week, when the New Zealand dollar was just falling, maybe I was the market pricing the rate cut, but I think they can deliver at least a little bit. Hopefully, would play in my hand. So we'll see about that. Nevertheless, I'll pass the mic to you. You can dive in, and I'm going to prepare the quiz questions as usually.
All right. Okay. Let me share my screen. Hmm. Okay. Okay. There we go. this for the box to pop up? Hasn't popped up. Okay. Yeah, so you can see my screen.
Let me check. And yes, we can. Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, I just see Aussie yen. We'll check that out. I'll scan through the Aussie pairs in a moment. Guys, on last week we noted about this being important. You know, Trump was meeting Putin. Okay, President Putin in Alaska. Okay, you see these guys here. It's putting on a bit of a show for the camera. Ha ha ha! Yes. These guys obviously had a talk, and the reason I'm noting this is because there was a bit of hype in a run up to this. Because as you guys know, we're not just moving on data; we're moving on themes that come up in the market. And obviously, previously, Russia versus Ukraine, when this war first started off, it drove a lot of safe haven flow. We saw stocks selling off, and we saw gold being largely boosted because of the war. And then obviously it fully got baked into markets pricing. They just got, to be emotionless in some sense. Markets, once they price something in, they forget about it. It's like, whatever, it's old news. As horrible as it is, the war and any given war, but markets just like onto the next thing. So this is quite important. So basically they met and they made good progress. They had good talks, and that's it. There isn't really much to take away. They're going to have further talks. And look, at some point, this could be a big thing where what would actually be a big boost for market appetite is if they end the war, basically. That's the big thing. And basically, Trump has said that they will, once they have sort of make some progress, they're going to put into play a security measure for Ukraine. So if they announce a ceasefire or they stop fighting, if Russia or any Russian sort of military troops start attacking Ukraine again, then the US will step in, which is quite a big thing. So anyway, they made good talks, but it hasn't really had an impact on market sentiment. Okay, really and truly, when you look today, like stocks are pretty mixed, and it's just a typical Monday today when you look across the board. Now, that aside, the big event this week, guys. Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, this week is, you can probably see it here anyway. It's this old man here. Okay, we have Jerome Powell speaking, right? And we're going to look at the charts in a moment. I'm just sort of familiarizing you with what's the risk events this week. So this guy's speaking at Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where all the central bankers get pissed up and boozed up and chat a lot of crap, basically. No, I'm joking. They obviously talk about the economy. They talk about monetary policy. So this is very important to note, because this is the Jackson Hole meetings historically been like quite a big event, because central bankers, we saw Ben Bernanke. So anyone who doesn't know Ben Bernanke, he was the president before, two presidents ago, two ECB presidents, sorry, not ECB, FOMC presidents ago. And he announced QE2, where we had that massive big stimulus. He announced it there at Jackson Hole. So Jackson Hole is quite a big one, because they can position the markets for what they're going to do. Markets right now, obviously expecting rate cuts in September. You guys have seen that when you look at this. When you look at the CME, when you look at the pricing, we are expecting a cut, obviously, of 90% probability. This is baked in. So it's 100% priced in. Trump, it's just dropped a little bit, 83.2%. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, not being up to date there. So that's cooled a little bit. Now, FOMC members are split between inflation being sticky and the labor market worsening. But the labor market isn't worsening, as I said to you guys last week. Okay, it isn't. The unemployment rate is unchanged from, a few months ago. Hasn't done anything. Okay, when you look at the unemployment claims as well last week, where is it? Unemployment claims on Thursday. Oh, maybe I've might be blind here. Unemployment claims, here we go. So unemployment claims still not bad. Like, we've had a decent run of unemployment claims in the United States. So the labor market isn't that bad. Trump just wants the cuts. Okay, so it's very important. I'll give you the scenarios. Okay, Powell comes out and he says, like, this is literally the two scenarios, guys. Okay, so listen up. If Powell says, look, guys, markets, we are data dependent. We're not committing for now. We're going to be data dependent. That means September is potentially not on for a rate cut, because they want to see more data before they commit. And obviously September's just around the corner. He could say that, look, we are, obviously inflation is still a little bit sticky, but we are seeing some deterioration in the labor market. If he says that, then you can potentially gear the market, gearing the markets up for rate cuts. Okay. So we need to see a little bit of downbeat. We need to see downbeat commentary from Powell in terms of his communication, because he's not saying, guys, we are going to be cutting September. There have been times when he's done that and he said, we're going to cut in March, or we're going to cut in September. I'm saying March because I remember when he said that before in February. He said, we're going to be cutting in March, and then they cut. So sometimes he may do that, but I don't know if he will or not. So the bullish case, obviously, if he pushes back for the dollar, so pushes back on rate cuts. The bearish case is obviously if he leans into that and talks down on the economy, which it's not really that bad, guys. We know that this will just be a Trump pressure thing. So with the dollar, guys, it's just, we're still in this awful range. Okay, this is chop city. Okay, chop city. All right, and this is what we just got to accept. I mean, this could happen all the way to Friday. You know, don't be angry at me. You know, this is what it is. Look at it. But when we look at obviously structure, we are still a little bit bearish right now. Not a little bit, we are bearish. Okay. Sorry, I just want to bring up the monthly chart a moment. Let's just paint a picture. Obviously, we had that big bounce in July, and this happened because of the FOMC, right? And also inflation. Inflation was sticky, and inflation's still where it was at in July anyway. This is what I mean. The markets are bonkers. They're influenced by Trump. Nothing's changed. But anyway, rate cut bets back in July got nuked. And then now here in August, they're back on. So you can just see the roller coaster the dollar's on at the moment, right? And obviously, we're potentially heading for monthly support again. You can see where the next massive monthly support is. It's back at 96, sort of 60, 50 area down here, yeah? Weekly price action, as I say, it's just consolidation. It does look a little bit vulnerable the way it's at the moment, right? Daily, just ranging. It's not really tradable, that on a daily if you're a swing trader. And then 4 hour, obviously, structure at the moment is sort of this lower high, lower low situation at present. But you can see we've just found a bit of a bottom here, which, look, you see, we came down towards this low and we failed to break that. We found support. Okay, so it's bounced there. And that, in my eyes, if I just look technically here, we've got potential for this this double bottom. Okay, it's double bottom, 1, 2, neckline up here, coming up to sort of 98.30. All right, so that's sort of the dollar. That's obviously the highlight of the week, and we could be a little bit choppy all the way and run up to that. Euro has run into rejections again. Okay, faced big rejections. Let me just clear this up a moment, just so we can. Because obviously we're looking at this potential upside scenario. Now on the weekly, again, we're just not getting commitment, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, guys, but remember we are in. Am I lagging, Jake? It's lagging, I guess. Is there an issue here? Sorry, guys.
No, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
How about you,
you're
Angel?
fine.
Saying, E8's Jake
No, you're
is
fine.
lagging in the middle frequency.
No, yeah, I think you're fine. Let me check with the chat.
You see my screen? Is my screen like okay? I'm on the chart for dollar, yeah?
Jack is lagging in middle frequently.
Strange.
Oh, there are no images. Let me double check.
Yeah, because I'm on the charts. I'm on the
Let me open the stream. But I see the stream on YouTube, guys. Can you please confirm if the problem is still?
Can you guys see my Euro chart at the moment? Just to make sure. My internet, my computer's running totally fine today.
Yeah, I think.
Let
Let
us
me
know,
double
guys, in the
check on
chat.
if I'll go to. No, it's all good.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Chatanya said it's all good, so I think so.
All right,
hopefully.
cheers, Chanya. I trust you. I trust you with my life, my man. He's a loyalist. He's an E8 loyalist, Chanya.
No, let me double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. Sorry,
All right.
continue.
Awesome. So yeah, with Euro, guys, by the way, you can see we're facing this big barrier. Okay, it's 17. So you can see rejection, bam, 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 bam. You get the point. Facing constant rejections there. And interestingly, you know, this looks like a bit of a double top situation here. You know, the flip side to the Dixie, you know, where we're looking at that double bottom. Obviously, Euro, 1, 2. 2 peaks, neckline down here. You can see where we want to go. I mean, I'm just going to remove this trend line because we're sort of breaking through. You see this trend line here where we're supported? Tapping, and it was helping us with these higher highs, higher lows. However, once again, we came up to this higher high area and this most recent high, and we faced rejections. So it looks a little bit vulnerable, looks subject to coming to test that potential neckline. Either way, there's support down here around sort of 1630. So let's keep an eye on that. Structure you can see on the hour is bearish. Lower highs, lower lows is very well. See it really clearly on the 30-minute. Look at that. Nice little pennant, breakout, flag, breakout, flag, breakout. And you can see where we're going. We're going to be magnetized to this neckline. Okay. So let's see how the price responds there. All right. It would be very interesting. And I would love, I don't know. It would be nice to see if Powell is like, look, we are going to be focusing on data. Like we're data dependent right now. You know, we're not committing to rate cuts. Dollar will go crazy. Dollar bulls will go crazy because at how much markets price this in. And they did that because of Trump. That's it. Right. This was 97%. It's cooled a little bit. Markets come to their senses, maybe heading into Powell speech. They're a little bit like, maybe we're overpricing here. Yeah, you freaking are, you losers, because it doesn't make sense. The economy's still okay. So anyway, let's keep an eye. I think with Euro, I haven't done anything today. I didn't get my intraday play, my intraday play. I will look tomorrow potentially for that intraday play in terms of the fake out manipulation above Asian range, because right now I will trade this to the downside on an intraday basis because we are, with these lower highs, lower lows structures to the south. Same thing with GU, guys. Okay, GU's pulled all the way back here. We've run into heavy supply. Couldn't break down that sort of head into 36s, big rejections, and we've just entering this sort of bearish trend right now. Okay, you can sort of see a bearish structure, sort of topped out, and now we're sort of to the downside. I cannot sort of go into swing plays at present. This is like, for me, as I said to you guys before, there isn't any swing plays for dollar related. We may get that tone being set by Powell on Friday. Okay, so we're going to wait for that, and maybe there'll be some swing plays, but trade what you see. And right now we're seeing the dollar bounce. Okay, we're seeing that dollar pull back, some repositioning, heading into obviously this big risk event, because markets are very one-sided, so they're trying to rebalance and adjust accordingly. Okay, because they've just been too heavy dollar shorts in, too priced in for bearish cuts from the FOMC. So that's that. I'm just sorry it's not very sexy today with the dollar rated. It is what it is. We just sort of play that. I will go to the trades. Remember that we took. Remember I told you about these longs. Okay, so obviously with GP Aussie structures to the upside, we're printing high highs, high lows. You know why I took that trade, and because obviously the hawkish cut with the Bank of England, the dovish cut with the RBA, and remember we took those longs there. Okay, after this higher low, excuse me. Okay, so I just took that swing, and then I've taken 80% off the table up here at that psychological 208.50. It just was observing the rejections there, but that was just the first point of target anyway. And then I do have a partial running for basically heading into 210, just ahead of 210. I think this carries on. I do think this carries on. We've got a bit of consolidation right now. Potential bull flag forming here, as you can see, subject to a continuation to the upside and go and print a higher high. How I'm looking at this now is obviously that new higher low. See, obviously structure respected. Go on and go and print a higher high. Take out this high area, bam, 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 and then a higher high, maybe just above 209. Nice psychological. All right. So I still like the idea of those longs. Okay. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to run into. It was because two reasons. One, I hit TP quite quickly, faster than I was going to see. It's quite a big move that we had in the space of 24 hours. And then two, it's just heading into the weekend, just in case of any weird things happened with Trump and Putin. It's just an element of caution from me. Otherwise I probably just would have left that sort of to do its thing. But yeah, vast majority taken off the table there. Sorry, just checking any questions while I'm speaking. We'll play catch up. And then GPNZD as well. Remember, we noted these longs, okay? Structures to the upside. The Bank of England, as I say, hawkish cut. We do have the RBNZ, all right? And obviously, Jake and I just touched upon that now. I'm sure Jake probably go into a little bit more again into his view. But for me, obviously, this is like priced in, okay? These guys are going to cut. It just depends on this statement. Right. And the reason why I say it may not be that exciting is because if we look, first of all, like the RBA, these guys obviously pay attention to CPI. They pay attention to inflation has cooled, right? Inflation's cooled, fine, which warrants this cut now. Okay. Inflation's cooling. The thing that throws it off for me is that when we look at labor market, okay, employment change. just going to bring up the actual unemployment rate. Had it last week, 2 weeks ago. So the unemployment rate, 5.2%. Okay, so better unemployment rate there. Well, say better, wasn't as bad as markets feared. They're expecting it to jump up to 5.3%. And then also, when you look at spending in New Zealand, okay, if you just bring up New Zealand retail sales. Okay, retail sales in New Zealand is at 0.8%. I mean, it's been pretty okay. So I just think like, yeah, they will cut rates, but it'll just be like, we're going to observe this cut and see what happens moving forwards. I just think it'll just be a bit of a neutral one. Okay, I don't expect any sort of guns blazing of weakness in the New Zealand dollar personally. Okay, just on the back of this decision, I don't expect it. But let's see. Okay, we're going to trade what we see. So that's that. Someone was talking about the yens. You know, like with dollar yen and a lot of these yens at the moment, they're a bit a bit meh right now because we're just lacking volume. We're lacking catalyst at present. I don't have much commentary on the likes of dollar yen. It's just ranging. Okay, as you can see, euro yen, obviously dips are being bought, and it's a bit of a weird one because with JPY, markets are expecting those rate cuts, those rate hikes, but we have risk sentiment right now. There's risk appetite still in the markets. So yen is a safe haven, Swiss franc is a safe haven. Of late, haven't been performing that well versus their peers. GJ, I still think this could push to the upside, but we're trying to break down 200. Yeah, I mean, sorry, guys, really messy there. But we're trying to grind down. Look at this heavy barrier here. It's massive. So once we do get a committed breakthrough, we've got a bit of a gap there. I'm guessing that gap was probably on it's a tiny gap, but it's still a gap. That would have been obviously on the positive talks with Trump and Putin. So we had a little gap higher. But this should continue to the north. I expect it to. And probably push, in towards this sort of 204 area, 205. Aussie yen. Look at it. I mean, I don't really know what to say because it's just ranging. Okay. It is ranging on a weekly. Like, there is just a lack of structure for me. Obviously, as you know, I like to trade structure, and this is just not really doing anything at all. I don't have much to say on it. Sorry. I think that there's a potential, that it continues higher. I don't know. I don't know. That's just not for me. So I'm sorry, my man. It's just really not the price action that I like personally. So maybe Jake will give an update on that. Gold, same analysis as last week, really, guys. I'm just waiting for this drop. I think it will drop. We've got last week we finished in the red, bearish engulfing. Daily consolidation, but we are to the downside. Okay, 4 hour again. We're just forming a bit of a bearish pennant. If you mark that up, I've got a bit of bearish pennant here, just subject to a drop. And as I said, this is the next major daily zone down here, and we'll look at some potential buying down there, or it may be a case of a deeper correction. I don't think it will get that deeper correction. I think the buying will come in here. But for now, guys, I personally wouldn't be longing for a swing. I would just be waiting for this drop, or trading as you see right now, and it's pretty bearish. We're unable to sustain any rally. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I will hand it over, Jake. I don't know if you got anything to say.
Sorry.
I was going to say, while you're sort of giving your views, I was just going to break down some of the miners, just because I haven't. This is actually the second time I'm sitting at my screen, but I haven't fully dived into some of the other pairs yet.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what's happening because the live stream also is not working on my phone nor on my PC right now. So a lot of people are chatting that it's not working. Might be just YouTube servers. I don't know actually what's happening, guys. So refreshing, it works 1 second, then freezes. The same happens for me on mobile and as well as on the PC. That's really, really weird. Trying to figure out what's gonna. Now it's good, Jake. Yeah, I think Chaitanya, for you it's good, but I think a lot of people left it because they couldn't refresh it. I'm also cannot for some reason refresh it, nor on my PC nor on my mobile. So I don't know actually what's happening. I moved. No, it's good. I'm watching my iPad. Just tuned in. Okay, it's very weird, guys. just so you know, as there's a lot of people missing, we're going to again do the quiz giveaway on Wednesday as we did last week, just because I don't want a lot of people to miss it. We're going to do the usual 48-hour evaluation challenge, but I would love to, sorry guys, for you who are being here waiting for the quiz, but it's going to happen on Wednesday, as I think a lot of people are just having troubles to join in.
Yeah, seems that.
Have no idea what's happening. Okay, as for the charts, also there was a question about the accounts. So basically, Angel is already trading it, and today I'm going to share on my Instagram the account that I'll be trading on the live stream, so you can create a screenshot, and every time I share that account, so you know it's the very same number account. I'm going to share it with you probably today or tomorrow morning, once I'll be providing you with the 48 evaluation challenge. Also, I'll just chat with Ken after the live stream if he wants to join us with Angel on this one, and if he wants to trade the E8 accounts as well. So if so, then I'll also include him in that very story. Okay, back to the markets. So from what I understood, and I've missed a lot, Ken, because I was just trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
You said that you are right now short on not actually short like in the market, but as a perspective, as a forecast, you are short on EU and GU.
Yeah, near term, I think
Near
so.
term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very near
it kind of
term.
makes sense. Yeah, looking at the charts just from the technical, we didn't create new high highs. I can even share the screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me share the screen. Share the screen and trading view. Perfect.
Yeah, YouTube.
Can you confirm, guys, if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So I don't know what were the levels, but I think we're pretty much on the same on EU GU. On GU, we bounced from the level 1.36, well, mostly the zone 1.358, 1.36, created new lower high and then lower low. No, now created the low low. So I think that the probability that we will go all the way down towards the sort of 50% of Fibonacci, which is 1.36 level, is pretty high, especially if we will remain this bullish momentum. Today, we most definitely hit, but it's like 15 pips from current price, the 1.35. But I think, especially with the, I don't know if you've covered the UK CPI, I believe so.
UK CPI?
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I
No,
just
no.
didn't know
Okay.
UK CPI, actually.
Yeah. So basically, UK also will be printing new CPI data this week. I think it's on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Wednesday.
Let me also Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday. In case, and it's widely expected that the inflation is going to tick up a little bit again. I mean, we were discussing this with Ken last time. That might be positive, also at the same time negative for UK, especially when it kind of damages the economy. But at the same time, higher CPI means that the Bank of England might be forced to keep rates for longer. At least the market might think that. So, in case the CPI coming hot and higher than what's expected, might also give us a little bit of bullish momentum on a pound, which could be triggered by the expectations of holding the rate for longer or not being as dovish in the Bank of England. So if that's going to actually happen, and as I said, the expectations are widely for inflation going up, I think 1.30, let me take a brush, 1.34 right here, which is about 100 pips from current level, it is very possible. It is very possible. At the same time, I said it's like 50. The golden zone is going to be somewhere here of 50 and 60% Fibonacci, which I think we will reach. At the same time, the price is mostly ranging. If we don't include this, and there's the price mostly ranging between those two levels, 1.36, 1.34. So it's very probable that this is going to happen. And for EU, might be the same, probably heading back towards 1.16, as Ken I think said in the near run. going short, which I think so. Not sure about EU because I think if the inflation data this week and we've got, I don't know, again, the date, I think Wednesday or Thursday, the CPI from Eurozone, I think that just it's going to just print as what's expected as the consensus, and the ECB will be then kind of not forced, but I think it's going to be given the signals of potential continuing in the rate cut rally. So, which is not going to happen anytime soon, I think, but at least I convinced the market. So I'm not as bearish on EU as I'm on GU, at least right now in the short term. Might be controversing with your overview, Canon, because as I said, I was just trying to fix the live stream, so I didn't really hear much from you. But that's basically what I was thinking. Do you think that the GU or the pound could be stronger than euro in upcoming week?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because in this week now.
Yeah. This week.
It's very much dependent on that CPI number, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just thinking here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm looking at the GBP.
Look,
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the UK definitely, obviously, as you say, we're dealing with this sort of stagflation situation. GDP, the last reading actually, was it last week? Yeah, last week that actually helped me with my GP Aussie and GP NZD position, but that came out stronger. So we had a decent bounce back in UK GDP. But then obviously if inflation, like in a way, right, if UK have got good GDP and then inflation cools, in a way that's actually a positive thing because we're sort of coming away from those stagflation fears. So cooler inflation could be positive for the UK. Does that make sense? Like it could be positive because markets are like, okay, inflation's coming back down. It's getting a bit more under control. That's the way the markets are thinking. But markets could think a bit like, okay, the Bank of England could be closer to more rate cuts again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Understand that.
Like that in the past, you know. So I don't know. We're gonna have to. I'll have a bit more review after Wednesday. To be honest.
Yeah, that's actually the most interesting part. Whenever the investors, the big players, will think about lower CPI, if that's going to happen, as if it's a good thing for the economy or it's a bad thing for the rates. So. Exactly. Yeah, which side are you going to pick that is going to decide where the pound is going to be heading? At the same time, looking at the Euro GBP, we were talking, at least I was talking about it last time when we were creating this double top over here. And right now, I could see pound, again, Euro go slightly higher, but then we've got this level as well, which I think could be important. And if I will remain my stronger overview for pound rather than euro, I think this is the zone where we might bounce going back to 0.86. Overall, I think we're changing the structure on euro pound, so I'm bearish. That's for sure. At least on our 4-hour time frame. On daily, I think we're still pretty bullish. Yeah, well, kind of changing. So that's probably this level, which is, what is it? 0.865 is going to be the one that I'll be watching this week. And I think we can get there. Just if we're not going to get there till Wednesday, I don't think I'm going to take the shorts on our Euro GBP. I'd rather take the shorts on pound. The pound and dollar.
Jay, quick one. You know, on the monthly, when you look at the monthly chart.
On which one? Euro pound? Okay.
Yeah. So you see, obviously, this 82 area we've bounced at more or less, just above 82s.
82s. You mean support? Yeah.
If you zoom out a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
This is quite a big area where we bounce. Obviously, we hadn't been below quite a while, for quite some time, for many years, since 20.
That's true.
2016.
Since 2016. Yeah, 2016.
So just when I'm just looking at the monthly view here, I mean, every time we've come to that level and we've pushed, we've gone quite high. You know, we've gone close towards the 90s, 89s potentially is
That's
possible.
true.
So 88s, 89s, maybe on the cards, it's on the higher time frame there. You know, when you look,
Yeah, that's
possible.
true. What I would probably say then we can have like in here some sort of a correction for a pound. I don't know if I have the brush here. Yeah. For example, something like this, or then something like this, the monthly correction, at least month, especially if we closed last month with that week shadow. And I think we closed on multiple time frames with big shadows on the top of the candle, which sometimes can be viewed as buyers weren't strong enough. Let me just double check
Yeah,
what's the
fair.
sentiment on Euro GBP.
Yeah, you can yeah. I hear you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You can actually see that there was a it happens. It happens quite a bit. It's happened quite often actually. There happened there in to the left in July of 2022. Is it? There.
Yeah,
That would
2022.
go
Yeah,
up a little
yeah,
bit more, and then
yeah. This one, you think?
and then
Or
up again.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
definitely.
yeah, it's happened a few times. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because when you've got these big shadows, they're mostly followed by like bearish month after that happens. So this is not as big. Well, happened also here, but this is not as big shadow. But I still believe, especially if I go to lower time frames where we stop printing higher highs, we now started printing lower lows. So kind of convinced that it might be happening like this month probably could be bearish if we bounce from this level, the 0.865, especially if we get investors to think about strong pound based whenever they will be based on the strong economy or keeping rates for longer. Yeah, this week will be probably deciding whenever the pound is going to actually do the correction, the monthly correction from higher time frames, or just continue towards the upside. But the odds, at least in my opinion, are towards the short on euro pound.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see what's happened.
fair. Yeah, I like that. That looks good anyway.
Yeah. Then also euro Australian dollar and euro New Zealand dollar, we reached back the 1.8 level, and I think we are getting slowly from that zone. So still compared to if I compare euro and Australian dollar, I'm still very bullish on the euro, on both actually. Euro New Zealand dollar still very bullish market, so I wouldn't be looking for any shorts here. Especially, I think the rate decision is going to play out pretty similarly as happened with the RBA. So I think, because if we take a look at the New Zealand index, I think that mostly last week this was just market pricing in the rate cut 25 basic points to 3%, and I think that we are, at least on the index, going to get back a little bit higher. The same prices on the New Zealand currency pairs where the expectation started was going to be low of orders, I think, and then I'm pretty convinced that we're going to get that bearish momentum from Reserve Bank of New Zealand. We'll see. Can't promise you that, but as for Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, I think that those currencies, as most of you know, they're behaving pretty similar, and also their policies are mostly aligned. What else we've got on calendar that could influence the market and launch some moves? I think we've got also, but we don't
PMIs
trade Chinese yuan. Sorry?
PMIs.
Yeah, PMIs from
US.
Europe. Let me check what are the expectations there. Do we have any chance that we will cross the level 50s on those PMIs? Didn't even check.
I mean, we've been
Let me
recovering
see.
quite well.
Do we? Okay, let me see. So we've
No,
got.
sorry. Sorry. No, the expectations aren't to cross 50, but we have been recovering, quite well. Remember, these were like late last year, these were like 40 something, very low 40s, like 40s, 41s.
Yeah, that's true. Recovering
nice
on that.
recovery there for Europe.
What I spotted on PMIs especially, and the guys, the only PMIs that I watch are basically the services in France and then the manufacturing in Germany,
Germany.
and then also I'll take a look at the like Euro area uh, average on PMIs. But if the German manufacturing are strong and the French PMIs, the services are also strong, you can already see the market having the bullish momentum. But then there's about 30 to 1 hour correction, and then the market gets the momentum once again. And it happened on probably 4 out of the 6 last PMI prints. Whenever it was strong, it happened. The bullish momentum came to the market, and then slightly correction and continuing in that direction. Nevertheless, it was positive or negative. It always does the bullish momentum. Whenever you don't answer on that print, you can just watch this time, so you can prove yourself if you can prove me if I'm wrong. But it usually happens like this. Just watch the PMIs, and whenever those two that I've mentioned are strong, just watch the euro, how it gets the bullish momentum, then a little bit of correction, and then again get on that momentum. I'm watching the PMIs for past 3 months and just trying to spot a pattern in it, but also depends whenever we're crossing the 50 line, that then the scenario might differs. But most of the cases it happened just like this. I didn't check a chat for a long time. Let me
There's quite a
take a
few
look.
questions.
Oh, so okay. Let me see. Where did I start speaking? Probably somewhere here. Okay. Any questions that you remember from top of your head, Ken, that I've missed?
Yeah, someone said, what's the hardest trading emotion for you to control, and how do you
Cool.
actively counter it? It's quite a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question for JV. I'm going to write it down. I'm not the type of guy who could answer that because I'm still I'm still it's still challenging for me, especially on the former part where I just see the opportunity, and sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I go in without proper analysis. So I'm having probably the same struggles as you guys, but I'm trying to avoid them. I think that just comes with the experience, with the time that you spend watching the market. Then you probably learn it. But mostly uh, struggling with the same challenging situations as you guys. Do you have any tips you can for this particular struggle?
I think for me, as like the hardest trading emotion, I think obviously everyone's going to be different. Is ego. Um, parking ego to the side, because there are times when you've conducted very good analysis.
Mm.
Structure in your eyes and my eyes will make sense, and then even the fundamentals will support it. But then you know things will just go the completely opposite way. And
Yeah.
for me, at the end of the day, I just always remember, like, at the end of the day, the market's going to do what it's going to do. You either choose to park your ego to the side and drop the bias that you had and trade the way the market wants to move. Obviously, as you say, if things start changing and the trend and structure starts changing, you have to go with that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you can keep that ego there and just burn through your money. So
That's true.
I think for me, it's just trying to juggle that ego and just park it aside. I mean, I have done that sort of pretty well, I guess, over this years. I think for me, is one of the issues that is as well is slightly different, because where obviously I push out a lot of content and I'll always be very vocal, and I'll always put my balls on the line when I have a view. And then obviously people are like, oh, you said dollar's going down, or you said dollar's going up. It's like, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to have a view, but sometimes things change, and the markets will do what they want to do. So I have to part that ego, and I will still look to capitalize, even if it's against my view. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. Waiting for comeback JV. Yeah, JV is going to join us probably next Monday. So make sure you are free with those questions, especially if you have those questions. Just make sure you have time next Monday, because he'll be joining us for sure. At the same time, someone said the Australian dollar Japanese yen. I'm just going to quickly, before we read any more questions, react to that, and then probably pass it to Angel. So basically, right now, I'm still waiting Australian dollar because, as you all know, I didn't enter that trade, and we were talking about it somewhere here, and I wanted to short it. And then again, the same struggles, didn't answer it. So unfortunately, but it happened like 2 live streams ago. Nevertheless, I'm watching the Australian dollar Japanese yen because I'm still bearish on this one. And whenever I don't like to trade in this specific zone. So whenever we hit below this, I would be very open to trade it. I would be very open to trade it actually. So probably then, I don't know how many pips is that, but we would definitely create new lower low, which is about just 30 pips. But then eventually we can go all the way down towards the 95 level, which is about 75, 80 pips. So waiting until we break below, 95.8. And if that happens and we've got enough momentum, just a candle like this, then I'll be pretty sure we're creating a new lower low and we are set to hit for the 95 level.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and any ideas? Any comments on the Australian dollar and Japanese yen from your part, Ken?
No, I'm staying away. Staying away. I don't
Staying
like
away.
it
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
You don't like the structure, or
Oh, no, I don't like it. Don't like
that's
it.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Guys, sorry, before we save the best for last for Angel.
Sure.
Through, could I just go over one last, because I've just been
Yeah, sure.
one last pairs on my watch list, just really quickly. Just take
Sure.
It's Euro CAD. Just share my screen.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Let me check a look. Check again.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, structurally, obviously, as we've said with Euro at the moment, fundamentally, obviously, it's bullish. You know, definitely compared to CAD. CAD's dealing with stagflation. You know, they're dealing with stagflation. We've got Canadian CPI tomorrow. Okay, so this will create a lot of volatility. If these numbers call, we can expect obviously markets to start ramping up their rate cut bets again from the Bank of Canada, because they've been on pause right now because inflation's sticky, like the Bank of England. But CAD's a lot more worse as an economy. Their GDP has been pretty crappy the past sort of few months or so. Look, been contraction. So these guys need to cut rates, but if inflation calls, they will do so. So with Euro, similar to my trades with GP Aussie, GP NZD, structure, obviously, number one, high highs, high lows. You can see that nice and clean. See that nicely on the daily. We're on this nice incline right now. Okay, high, high low, high low. We've most recently printed high, and I'm watching this higher low right now. Okay, I'm not overly turned on by this right now. Potentially, if we get this 4-hour closure, this a bullish candlestick on this current 4-hour, I'll look at that. Maybe when the prices settle at crossover. I'm liking the potential formation on this 1 hour. Okay, the reason being is you will see, you know, when we start to bottom, sometimes when we print these new higher lows, we start to sort of double bottom like this, right? Sort of a W, got up, you see, bam, 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 and then potential here, bam, 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 trying to double bottom. On the you can see that quite clearly there on the 30-minute in the past there. Okay, nice sweep below the Asian range. It's very, very late, obviously, in the day, but same here as well. Let's sweep below the Asian range. And then same sort of time, look, 6 p.m. London time, look down here, sort of same sort of time, 6 p.m. London time, and that's a grind higher. So this is largely on my watch list. I'm going to potentially look at entries, as I say, at the crossover. If the next couple of hours are bullish, I will look at potential longs, because I think we'll just take out that neckline here at 61s, excuse me, and I think this will fly, and then we're going to go and swing to another higher high. So, you know, ideally, the potential trade would be something like this, and just depending on where we're at. Ideally, something like this stops just below here, and then I'd be expecting this high to be taken out. I'll have be conservative and probably just go for up here at sort of 61.80, excuse me. But this will probably run in towards sort of 62s, which would be the higher high in a nice psychological area. So yeah, that's on my watch list right now at present.
That looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I definitely believe that euro is going to be stronger than Canadian dollar. So I don't think there's much that can play out well for Canadian dollar. So yeah, definitely. Especially when we're that bullish on higher time frames. Okay, just before we pass the mic to Angel, Astafik, I'm going to, because I saw your questions, I'm going to play the chess with you. Even today or tomorrow, I don't mind, because you surprised me. I've played like 2-3 times with guys. I got beaten most of the times. Army in the chat beat me twice. I won once, so I lost a few accounts already. But then Astrophic, just if you're asking, yeah, I'm going to play with you because this guy, he said, I'm asking him on Instagram, how good is he? What is his rating? So I know he's not cheating. And he said, oh, well, not much. And then he beat me like in like 6-9 moves. And he had like 94 accuracy. And I didn't know what was happening. And the guy pulled out a photo of him being like a national team of chess in India. So I said, oh, God, yeah. So that's why we didn't play. yeah. So yeah, I'm going to lose that account definitely. So we can do it. I'm going to lose it probably today, tomorrow. That's the guy who just Chatanya. That's the guy who just write yap in the chat. And by the way, guys, today, as I said, no quiz. I'm just going to do a few today. There's 20 of us, so about 48-hour evaluation challenges. Okay, so Angel, it's yours. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was a little bit quiet today. I'm watching the guys charting. I mean, it's amazing the amount of value that you guys share on these streams are crazy in terms of fundamental data. It's just wonderful. All right, let me just share my screen real quick. Oh, where's Jake?
Sorry? Oh, my camera died. Let me switch the batteries. Come on now.
Yeah, no worries. Share the screen real quick. I'm going to share this window. All right. Yeah, I think it's clear. New calls for you guys. So as for today, I really want to see for Nasdaq how we're going to close on this daily gap here. As you guys can see, we reacted a little bit from the gap, and we are now trading here because there are two things that can happen. Of course, we either react from here and then we take a new all-time high, or we just retraced on the daily time frame because we just swept the high from the left, and this is a new leg in the price. So you want to see discount, you want to be buying below the discount of the equilibrium of the leg. So I really want to see the way we are going to trade here. I actually took 2 trades today looking for shorts. I'm going to discuss the trades in a bit. So if we look at the H4 here on the Nasdaq, we have this gap here from where we react. I think it was on Friday. We didn't take the high and price came back. As you guys can see, we closed below the gap here. So now we're giving bearish structure. We have lower highs and lower lows, and we are also respecting bearish gaps here as we have this one on the 4-hour. So we have this gap here. We swept a high. So I want to see what's going to happen here. I would like to see the price giving one last drive lower, right? So we might sweep lows. We might get into the equilibrium of the leg. So I'm pretty much looking for sales here. Maybe this is a good area to take partials to look for a target. This level looks nice. Let's see what's happened here. I'm going to share the sell I took today, because we finally swept. I was actually targeting this low here on the H-hour. If we go to the, I think it was the M3. Yep, it was the M3. As you can see here on the M3, we tapped into the 4-hour gap here. We swept a high where we're tapping there, and this is not just a normal high because we have here the London high. So we're actually sweeping London high, tapping into the gap, and we have a nice opportunity to take shorts. I took the trade on this area here a little bit, I will say quick. It was too early for me. I really like the way we displaced it lower here, so that was the reason why I took the short. I was looking, of course, for this low that we actually swept later on the day. It was a nice short, in my opinion. We're still like, it was a choppy day actually for Nasdaq. So now we just swept the sell side and we're still here. I want to see the price is still trading a little bit lower, and that's as for the Nasdaq today. SP 500 pretty much the same as you guys can see from last week. Take a look to H4. We actually have an initial reaction from the gap from the last stream. We swept the high, so there was a divergence between Nasdaq and SP 500 because this one was actually taking the high and Nasdaq was not taking that high. So we made a gap here. When we break the high, the price closed it below the gap. As you guys can see now, we're giving various gaps here. This is the same as Nasdaq. So I really want to see this low getting taken. And then after that low, let's see what you want to see what's going to happen because it looks good. It looks like a good target. But after this low gets taken, then we can see a reaction from it or just drops all the way down to the equilibrium of the range. That's as for SP 500. That's my view on today. Show you guys. Let's go to the 1 hour. So you can see we also have this gap here on the 1 hour, but we've been stuck on this range the entire day. It was really choppy. If you guys took any trades today, I guess it was hard. So let's check Dow Jones. For Dow Jones, I have a sell here. As you guys can see, I have the first loss, the first trade, and then I have this short on Dow Jones. This is the EA Market X platform. If you guys are familiar with it, it's really nice. It's really trader friendly. I really like it a lot. I'm going to show you guys the idea for this trade. It's the same hindsight of last week. I want to see a retracement back into the equilibrium of this new leg. We have this gap here on the H1. You guys can see we're doing lower lows. We tap into this gap here, lower low. We're now tapping into this gap here, and we're just expecting a new lower low, and then we want to see, of course, a retracement on that higher time frame if we're actually looking for longs again. So that's pretty much why I took the second short. This time was on the Dow Jones, following this hindsight here from the higher time frame. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
2 sells, 1 loss. I'm still holding my trade. I might close the trade because, as you guys know, on signature accounts, you cannot hold trades overnight. So just around 4 p.m., the trade is going to close itself. So I expect to hit take profit before that happens. So I'm just going to head out with the loss and whatever I have here for today.
May I just a quick question? I think it was Nasdaq where you had that trade in a trading view where it was like few pips, from the take profit.
Yep.
When something like that happens, do you just set your take profit and your stop loss and you just keep the position in the market till one of the orders hit a hit, or do you close it manually sometimes?
I mean, pretty much I'm always waiting for the price to tap any of those levels because on futures, you might see the price, ranging around your entry. So you don't want to get stopped out at break even and then the trade is going to play it out. That's something that gonna affect your mindset, and it can happen a lot. And I've been going through a lot of trade that actually hits break even and then all of a sudden they just straight hits to take profit. So pretty much I'll just rather wait for one of the price levels. So I mean, being right or being wrong. Of course, sometimes when you have like a huge movement, you don't want to like end it up in a loss for today after having a floating profit previously. But I mean, it's what it is. Sometimes you got the direction right and you get stopped out. Sometimes you got the direction right and then you go break even, price goes to TP. It's another day on the office. But yeah, pretty much that was the hindsight for the trade today. This one hits stop loss because the trade was not here. The trade was here. and I was aiming for the low because, as you guys can see, this was the low. We
Mhm.
barely get into it. We didn't sweat the low. So once when we retrace it here, I was waiting for the low. As you guys can see, price went straight up. We actually traded into the 4-hour gap, sweeping the high, and then is when we actually
Mm.
deliver it to the low. So that's what the
Okay.
trade took.
Okay, thanks for the explanation on that. I also wanted to ask Ken, because it's not the first time that I've seen someone is informing you about you Arsenal fan. You Arsenal fan on a foot. Yeah, okay. Because I saw a few times that someone is either making fun or just informing you about it.
Well, someone said something in the chat.
Yeah. Someone said, Ken, by the way, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Forgot to mention this earlier.
Yeah.
Peter Minnesota.
Good result.
Kind of boring game, not gonna lie, but
What's that?
it was a kind of boring game. I was expecting a little bit more from Gyökeres, but it was good.
Yeah. Are you an Arsenal fan,
cool.
Angel?
No, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Madrid fan, but I'll watch every that good game. It was Manchester United against Arsenal, so it's gonna be like a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, it started off a bit of a slow start to the season, but so we're us. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Candy, were you talking about the gold or just I don't know, because people are asking. I don't know if you were, or should I cover it real quick?
Yeah, you can cover gold. I just
okay.
Near term we are bearish. I think this. Yeah.
Yeah, then I think I've got the same view as you are. I believe that we can reach actually the 3.3 level. So till that, I'm not going to buy gold, especially now in the short run. So I think if you guys are thinking about going for trades on gold, I would probably be, at least in my view, the odds are towards the downside, because I'm still pretty convinced that we're gonna hit those $33 towards the 3.3 level, and then there's a potential for reversal. But till that happens, I don't think so. I mean, right now the price reacting to 3.33, which is also kind of interesting level. But then once we break down, there's nothing stopping gold towards that. So yeah, fundamentally, not much to say. Waiting for the outcome of the discussions between the Trump, also Russia, Ukraine. So there's a lot of going on. So not going to trade gold till we hit that 3.3 level, and then I'll be interested if the tensions are still high, impacting the world. Then I'll be interested in longs. But till that, I'm not going to trade it. How lost the camera view stream? Where it can? Okay. Just checking. Any more questions? Me too. Okay. A lot of football fans we have, actually. Chaitanya. Mate, just so you know, Chaitanya was the first one who just messaged me that he actually passed the 50K E8 signature challenge. He just right away sent me a message. Once again, congratulations to you.
That's great.
Yeah. Looking forward if that we've kept more people actually passing the EA signature. If we won't get them, because on signature giveaway there's no time pressure, as they on the 48 hour, they've got 48 hours. So looking forward if the time is that strong component in trading, and if we will have a higher success rate on the signature accounts. Very interested in this. Okay, so I think we've covered anything. Anything you would like to add, guys, or you're good to go with today's market analysis?
Nothing from me. I think covered.
Perfect.
Yeah, as well.
All right. So, guys, after the live stream, but probably tomorrow morning, because I don't usually do it on the during the night. So I'll include in the comment sections the winners of the 48-hour evaluation challenge, which is the often participants in our live stream. And on Wednesday, we'll see each other again with Ken and Angel on another live stream where it's going to be again the quiz. So thank you guys for being here today. And I'll see you on the Wednesday.
See you guys. Thank you, everybody.
See you guys. Take
See you
care.
Wednesday.
Take care.
See
Best
ya.
of the luck in trading week.
Bye-bye.